Guerdy, at first, I just want to get your reaction to Kate Middleton's revelation that she was diagnosed with cancer. I know it came as a shock to her, to the whole world, and as someone who has beat cancer, I really just want to get your perspective.
It was very shocking, and I feel like I almost had PTSD watching it because, in to be honest, as everyone was going through the rabbit hole trying to speculate, I kind of in inadvertently knew that there was something bigger, and I just didn't hope or think that he was going to be what he was. And today, the truth came out, and it just hit me still as if it was day one. And I know exactly what that feeling is like to have to tell the world the news and make it real.
What can you imagine is going through her mind right now?
You go into mother bear mode, and the goal is always to first be protective of your family. And so if it's okay for the family, then it's okay for you. And no matter how we want to be selfish and think that it's about us only, it never is. And for her, on top of that, it's not only the family, but it's the hierarchy. It is the actual nation that she's speaking on behalf of. She's a representative of them, and that this is part of her duty, unfortunately, to be able to disclose personal information like that in such nature.
Totally, totally. And the chemotherapy of it all, it is preventative chemotherapy. For people who don't understand why and when a cancer patient undergoes chemotherapy, how would you explain it to someone who just, hasn't been impacted by cancer?
I don't want to speak on behalf of Kate's condition because, number one, we don't know what type of cancer it is, and we don't even know what preventive chemotherapy is. It seems to be quite a taboo word to use to do chemotherapy, which is very aggressive of a grade. And there are different levels of chemotherapy that there are. So we don't know what type she's receiving. But if it's preventive, I'm going to hope and assume that it's the less aggressive grade, right? And chemotherapy is really to help to clean out and cleanse out your body, to reset your body, to make it say, okay, we're starting from scratch, and we are detoxing the bad in our body, hopefully. So I don't know where she's going. And I think that more than anything, this news today is maybe a learning curve for all of us to say, let's be patient. Yes, she's a public figure, but she doesn't owe us any more than she owes her, like that she owes her family first. So we need to really kind of now use this as a learning curve to say we were literally trying to dig up all kinds of speculations. And I think that we kind of, should be hanging our head low in shame today. We're now community. We're now, we want everything now. This is what this world has come to. With everything at the touch of a tablet, you want answers now. And now we understand that we have to go back to the old ways where we have to wait for the news and for a safe space. I keep talking about this. People like me, people like her, we just want a safe space to do it voluntarily and not to be cornered and have to tell your news when you're not ready to and blurb it out because of your emotional wavelength. So this is really a good way for the whole world to understand that when you're dealing with someone who seems erratic, who seems emotionally distraught, don't push them into a corner. Let them tell you when they're ready and how they want to and how much of it they want to share.
Chemotherapy, as someone who underwent chemotherapy, it does sound so intimidating and severe. As Kate begins this journey, I mean, how would you sum up your experience, and what should she prepare herself for mentally, physically, emotionally?
Yes. Now, Kate is going to probably get the best care ever, times 10 of what I've received. I had amazing professionals, but she is a very important figure. And so I'm assuming she's going to be the best of the in the world. So chemotherapy has different grades, like I said. And the way that you're able to determine if someone needs it is usually what's called an oncotype score, which is also subjective to your the pathology test. I scored a high, which was a 29, and your threshold to not need it is usually a 25 and under. So we don't know what's going on there because the word preventive was used. So maybe that was not even a actual variable that she needed to even test for. But maybe they said, you know what, just to be safe, we're going to cleanse everything out and use a light grade, hopeful, chemotherapy drug that will just kind of clean out and hope for the best.
Now, Russell was your rock throughout your cancer journey. Kate has said that she is leaning on Prince William for support as well. In
Yes.
what ways was Russell, your own personal Prince Charming there in Miami, in what ways was he the most helpful during your cancer journey? And what can Prince William do to be just as strong a pillar of support for Kate?
Well, so, I don't want to talk about my story again because obviously I shared it and I don't regret anything because I think it helped a lot of people. And we saw how Russell showed up for me. It was not even anything I needed to ask him. He came up voluntarily. I really feel and hope that Prince William will do the due diligence to say, I'm going to show up for sickness and in health. That in itself, when you take those vows, is what you have to back up. So this is time for Prince William to back it up. And I'm hopeful to see that come true and show an example to everyone all over the world to not run when the fire is getting hot and you go in and put the fire out. Yeah.
Right. Now, if Kate is feeling doubtful at all during her cancer journey, what advice would you give her? Was there anything you did specifically to keep your spirits high, to keep your eyes on the prize, to maintain your positivity?
It took me a month to even utter the words and type that announcement on Instagram, and I was pushed to because of circumstances where it was timing for me. I wasn't ready to, but I did it anyway, and maybe it was for the best. Who knows? We'll never know. For Kate, I think that maybe I heard something about there was a potential breach medically of her information. So maybe that was like, let's just nip it in the bud because people are out to make money off of this. This is disgusting. And I think that maybe potentially, I'm speculating and I shouldn't, of course, but I hope that this was the time that she wanted to say, I have cancer, guys, and say the word. Timing is suspect because of the fact that, we knew yesterday or a couple of days before that there was some type of potential breach. So I hope that she wasn't pushed into a corner. And I just hope that it was in her time because that is the most important thing, safe space. And it will be the example for other people to then not fear to share, not say to their coworker, I have cancer because they don't want to be judged and feel like, well, you don't look like it. Well, why are you here today? You should be in bed. Oh, you should sit this one out. No one wants to be told what to do. And this is what happens with cancer once you share too much or share in general. So I hope that we are learning from this and learning from my experience to say, let me just stay silent and let them come to me and say what they need to feel at their time.